the coming out thing that I was talking about, that I was thinking about when you guys were talking about, you know, gays have to come out, sex workers have to come out. And one of the things that popped into mind was coming out is not an end process. It's something that goes on throughout your life. So just because you come out as gay or lesbian or a sex worker to your family, to your coworkers, doesn't mean when you move you don't have to come out again. Like every step, everywhere you go, people don't assume that you're gay. People don't assume that you're a sex worker, so you're constantly having to let people know. Right. And that can be re-traumatizing, so it's important for people to recognize that, I think.
That's true. It never ends.
It never ends.
So I feel for myself personally, it's empowering.
Good.
Because it's who I am. This is who I am. And somebody can, I am proud of who I am. I haven't done anything wrong. I haven't done anything non-consensual. It may be immoral to somebody else's moral compass.
But that's not yours.
But that's not my moral compass, and that's not exactly, I feel that I've helped more people than I could have had I just...
That's really inspiring. I mean, you don't have to be a sex worker to feel inspired by that.
I feel like if people don't know about my past, and if they don't know about how I feel about certain topics, then they don't really actually know me. So I feel like sometimes there's certain people that I'm just like dying to tell, and I'm itching. I'm like, oh, I wish I could tell them, but I don't know how they would take it, or if it's the right time, you know. And so I just feel like I have this whole secret life, or this like, I feel like they only have seen half of me. And they'll say something like, they'll tell a crazy story, like, oh, that one night we got so wild, I kissed a girl, and I'm just like, seriously? That's it? Like, stuff like that, though, where they're like, oh, you don't know what crazy is. I'm like, no, trust me, you don't know what crazy is.
You really don't know.
No, you really don't. Or like, I'll just be like, oh, if you knew, you wouldn't talk to me, or you would blush.
But you're really sitting on such a gold mine to really educate people and inform
people. Get shocked. They're like, because everybody thinks that, you know, if they saw a prostitute, they would be able to tell that it's a prostitute. Unless you've actually been a working girl, then you can't tell who's a prostitute and who's not. Because working girls, I can just be like, oh, she totally is, or oh, she isn't. And sometimes you can't tell, but for the most part, you can.
Look just the same as everybody else.
You know what I mean? Because we look the same as everybody else. It's just, as a working girl, you start to think differently. Like, when I could be in line at Starbucks and slightly look at a guy, or be talking to him and just think, that guy would totally be into me, he'd totally do me. Like, we would have a good time together.
In charge where you start going...
Or, like, I could get, like, 10,000 out of that guy. Like, that guy wouldn't be much money, but he would be so much fun. Or, like, I could show him stuff.
Yeah, but she's always like, Mom, turn it off. Mom, stop it.
Because she can't turn it off. Hey. She's like Quagmire. She'll do, like, the creepy, like, she'll do the eyebrows, and she'll do this. And I'm just like... she's like a shark or something. She can't just she can't just look like this with her eyes. She's like she does one of those. She does like the damn girl thing.
You guys have a level of comfort with your body, with your sexuality, and you've owned it in a powerful way. So you know exactly what it's worth in a dollar and cents way, even.
And it's still worth more than we're charging.
Most people have not had that experience. You know, so you're coming from a totally different perspective.
Yeah, I like to listen to what people are gonna say. Like first, I do the same thing, and I'm like, okay, what else? What about this? Or well, don't you think of that? Or like, how do you know if you haven't been to one? They're like, oh no, everybody knows what. And I'm like, oh okay.
Well, what makes you think they have low self-esteem? Well, what makes you think that those girls were all sexually abused?
Yeah. What I always do is I'll say, do you consider me a slut, or do you consider me to have low self-esteem? And then they'll always say no. I'm like, oh, because I was a hooker. Like,
I wasn't just a prostitute, I was a hooker.
Yeah, I was a hooker. Well, like, one night I was going out, and my little sister's like, you look like a hooker. I'm like, thanks. I'm like, oh, wait, gotcha.
But it's hard not to feel good about yourself when people are buying you jewelry and not saying all the monetary stuff, but I mean, it's a huge
being told every day that you're like a great person.
You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful. You're so beautiful.
You're so that you're like the nicest person ever.
It sinks in.
You're constantly getting all sorts of compliments about everything, and
they're
just like, oh, you're my dream girl, and it's like, thanks.
But I think that aspect of it, if you're not a grounded person, because you realize, okay, this is the environment.
Of course.
They're saying and thinking these things because I know I look just as average as anybody else on the planet.
If I was in a bar, they'd be like,
it's all set up
because of the environment. They're thinking that you're like really amazingly beautiful.
It's like they're in sex.
But then you leave there.
Well, and you're traipsing around in your underwear.
No, and you're offering yourself as a sex goddess.
I always
lingerie though, right?
I always
embody that.
I always wore, actually sometimes I would go out like in this exact pretty much outfit. Like I'd wear like jeans and high-heeled boots or high heels, and I'd wear like a nice top. I didn't even look like I was going to a club, but a lot of times we would dress nice, and that's how you draw like some of the best clientele is
just being the girl next door.
You dress for the job you want, right? So you dress for the kind of man you want too.
And my clientele was more businessmen and couples.
Okay.
So being flaunty didn't serve me well. So it was more about,
I prefer the more
you want to think about your audience, and if it was a couple and the woman's first experience with another woman, you didn't want to come on as this threatening, here I am stealing panties.
You want to be,
because you want to identify with the woman, make her feel comfortable.
You don't want to be
intimidating
to any guy in any way. You know, you don't want to give an angry, sexy face. That doesn't work.
The environment alone is intimidating enough for people.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of politicians, athletes, like people who appreciate like finer things in life, or even just people who want someone who looks nice. Who looks like a nice person.
Speak clean.
And everybody
has
nice
to be
girl,
clean and put together.
Not some crazy person.
You don't have to be slutty or sexy.
But you can be, because that's a type too.
That's
some
hot
people
too.
have that type.
It's a type as well.
And that's the thing about going to a
Is
brothel,
that there's all
is your
different
type
types,
is going to be there.
You'll find out on your birthday.
Oh, wow. And on that note,
I'm Jenoa.
And I'm Mo.
This was
The Sex Talk.